I'll be giving a short demonstration of Aida and Aida Plan, showing off the features they provide. Aida is a AI that we provide to help you in all different scenarios within Exalate. And we have multiple versions of Aida. I'll show you what I mean with this. Right now, I'm on a documentation page. You can find Aida by pressing Explore Aida or go to Need Help and Aida, your sidekick. This will bring you to this menu over here where you have multiple options. What brings you here today? Let's say you have a question about the documentation, about some certain features of Exalate, or you don't know how to get around the tool itself. Ask it to Aida. You can ask it for anything around, for example, installation guides, what are stuff like triggers, or how do bulk connects work, or assistance for coding within our script editors as well. When I go back to the main screen and let's say I don't need information, but I want to start to use Exalate, and let's say I have an integration in mind that I want to have with Exalate, you can plan it out. You can plan your integration with this other tool. You can build clear specific requirements for your integration project and get an easy to implement integration plan. So what do we mean by this? If you press on this button, you will come to this new wizard, like user interface, and you just follow the steps. You have 4 steps. So we're going to start off with our data flow direction. You can choose your platform. Let's say I have a service, fresh service on one side, and the other side is Azure DevOps. And I'm going to choose a sync direction. What is this? This depends on how your data flows between the two systems. My first system, fresh service, does it only send data to one side and that's it? Or do they also send data back and forth? In my case, I'm going to have it be sent back and forth. My project name here, this is optional field, but let's say I have service team over here and I have a dev team on Azure DevOps. And I can select my trigger. Right now you have options between enable automatic triggers, or you can set by conditions later in a separate step, or you just do not want triggers at all. But I'm going to enable them. I'm going to press next. What is my use case? In my case, I selected a services team versus that syncs data to a developer team. So typical escalation flow. All right. So right now we are coming to the main step, actually, where you are going to have a discussion with Aida about your whole integration. So right here I can see my overview of what I've selected in the previous 2 steps. And it will ask me already for information. So with what do I want to start right now? I have the option of starting with any of these subjects. On the right, we have a list of subjects that me and the AI will go through, and it will guide me in generating requirements for each of these subjects in order so that when you use Exalate, you have these requirements checked off. I have 2 tabs over here, one for one side of the flow, so A to B, and one for B to A. So let's say I'm going to start with issue type mapping, just top to bottom. All right, it gives me some tips on what to sync. In my case, I want to sync incidents from fresh service to bugs in Azure DevOps. So it already gives me this example, which is very nice. So I'm going to say incident to bugs and bugs to incidents, or the other way. So it captures this requirement for me. You can see it's adding it to the list on the right. It checks if it's a valid requirement and looks like everything's okay. So you see this green check mark appear and I can press on it and see map incident to bug during synchronization. Perfect. On the other side, it will say bug to incident, just as I wanted. Very nice. So next up, which basic field? So it switches to the next item in the list. Which basic field, like summary, description, etc., do you want to synchronize between the 2 systems? Let's say all of them. All my fields in my incident issue type need to be synced over to the bug issue type. And we see that we have an error. It happened on this A to B side. So we see there's an exclamation mark. Why? It will explain to me. So we have an error on two sides. It looks like I need to be more specific and list the basic fields you want to synchronize. Could you please specify which fields are important for you? So I need to list them all separately, because sync all fields isn't a requirement specific enough. Let's say I'm really new to this and I have no idea what fields there are. So what fields can Exalate sync for me? So it will think and it will look in the documentation for me. So it's going to list probably all the fields Exalate supports. Gonna wait a bit. All right, looks like it found everything for me. So for fresh service tickets, I have summary, description, and so on. And for Azure DevOps, all of these things. So for, I'm gonna say from fresh service, I want to sync over, I'm just gonna select a few: summary, description, and status. Summary, description, and status. From Azure DevOps, I want to sync over, let's see, title, description, and state. So I'm a little bit more specific right now. And it's going to add it for me again. Let's try again, see if it works this time. Looks like I need to add each field separate as requirement. Perfect, because this is still not too specific enough. And I'll add each field individually, confirm. Yeah, why not, go ahead. If I can type. So it's adding my requirements. You can see map the summary field to title. All right, synchronize description from service to Azure DevOps, and the state, status to state. And hopefully to also do it for the other side. So we see title to summary, perfect. It will continue until it has captured everything I wanted. Good. So next up, let's talk triggers. Are there any specific conditions or events like status changes or field updates? You know, right now for the sake of the demo, I'm going to skip it. Let's skip it and sync all my statuses for me, because statuses is the next field in the subject list. So it's going to add my requirement for me. All right, good. What statuses do I have in Azure DevOps? Because it knows those in Fresh Service, but not from Azure DevOps. Yeah, a direct one between the two. Great, good. for the sake of the demo, I'm just going to leave it at here. There are a bunch of more subjects you can discuss, like priority mapping, your custom fields. You can list up what fields you have and what fields they should be on the other side. Data transformation. So do you want to format anything, add some rich text, formatting, whatever? How do comments need to be synced? Only private, only public, both. Attachment handling, size limits, file types, and so on. So you can go in quite detail in your integration, but I'm going to keep it at this and just press next. And in the end, step 4, I get an overview of what I did. So you can see here the integration summary is ready for Fresh Service and to Azure DevOps, and back as well. Next steps, I can review this, book a free trial, book a free call, or start a free trial, and get started. Perfect. So last step for me is to download this integration plan, and there we go. Everything is captured. Thank you for watching.